welcome to For Those About to Brawl, the MMA and boxing podcast from Manchester, England. The show is brought to you by the double team of Den and Chutney. This podcast will focus on all things combat, including reviews, previews, opinions, and everything Corona related. Chutney, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm not as bored as most people, I don't think.
No.
Look at us on the big screen.
People are kicking off, and I'm fine with it.
Are you? Because you were a bit worried to start with.
I was just worried about how much work I had to do, but I don't mind staying in.
Yeah, I've been all right. Go for my daily walk with the dogs and done a bit of gardening, cleaned up all the dog turds in the garden.
Probably doing more drinking than I would be if I was actually going out.
Yeah, and nicer beers as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm very thirsty. I know it might be a bit early, but can we do a beer of the week now?
Dun, 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 dun. Why not?
What have you got going?
I've got a beer from a Manchester brewery called Track.
Oh, nice.
This is called Learning to Fall, a 6.5 IPA.
Wow.
IPA.
Wow. Well, I have something similar but different. I have Cloudwater, small pale.
Bold and hoppy.
And why it's different is that it is 2.5%.
Nice.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. I hear there's a shortage of porters at the moment.
Well, that's one of my key concerns about this isolation, whether we'll be running out of the black stuff. But by all accounts, breweries are still able to brew, and they've still got, so unless we go into some severe type of lockdown, I think we'll be okay for the time being. Plus, I like to put that statement out there because I know we were talking in our beer groups about it, weren't we? And I know if I said there was a stout shortage, it would have got a certain individual very concerned.
He is very concerned. He contacts me twice a day about it.
And half of it is just me making it up to get a rise out of him. So I'm glad it has done.
Well, he never listens to this.
I know, yeah.
Cheers, mate. Today I'm drinking from my Waterford Crystal craft beer glass. I usually get to use in the pod because I'm usually at your house.
I've got a fancy tiny Rebel glass.
It's really nice. I forgot that I've had that before. Yeah, it's a cool glass though. I had that in the Ivy of all places.
What, the Cloudwater?
It's just a nice light fizzy pale ale, like Camden, a bit like Camden.
Can't mention Camden, mate.
Why?
They're not craft. They're not craft. Yeah, they're owned by one of the big boys.
Who owns them?
AB and Bev, they're called. They own Budweiser.
Right.
I think anyway. We'd never say that, would we?
What should we talk about?
If Fox Media came to take For Those About to Brawl, put us on a bigger platform.
What would we say?
I'd say we'd have to talk about cost and price and maybe take it from there.
Yeah.
I think it's good to get our message out to as many people as possible.
Yeah. Despite the costs.
So what's going down in the world of MMA?
What's going down is only what's going down in the UFC, is what I'd say. Because Dana seems determined to put on UFC 249 in some shape or form.
Yep.
What do you make?
Due the middle of April, wasn't it? It was meant to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Khabib versus Tony for the 5th time of trying to arrange that fight.
Well, should we go through that first of all then?
The chronological order of it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I've got it set up there if you want me to.
If you've got it, yeah.
Let me find the page. Here we go. Okay. So
I think go on, you go.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, undefeated UFC fighter from I was going to say Kazakhstan. Dagestan. And fighting out of AKA gym in California. It's California, isn't it?
Yep.
With the likes of Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, and was always been trying to put on the fight with Tony Ferguson, who is a very good fighter, very unorthodox. At the time when they first tried to put it on, this was on the 11th of December 2015. So 5 years ago. He wasn't the name he is now, but he was good. Now that didn't happen because Nurmagomedov got an injury.
Did he?
That was rescheduled for the 16th of April 2016, the following year. Ferguson pulled out because of a lung issue. Okay, not unusual for a fight not to happen two times over. But then, third time, lucky number 3, UFC 209, 4th of March 2017. Khabib, and this was the tiramisu incident. I think he was seen on UFC Embedded eating tiramisu the week of the fight, and then didn't manage to cut weight. In fact, ended up making himself ill. So it was cancelled for a third time. Then that brings us to the 4th time, UFC 223. Everything was going well. Everyone was fit and healthy. No crazy weather events, no pandemics. And then Ferguson, known for wearing sunglasses all the time. I think he showers wearing sunglasses. After a Fox interview, trips on a cable and blows his knee.
On a TV set.
On a TV set. So that was number 4. So we get to number 5. And that's UFC 249. And as I'm going through this, I'm going through Wikipedia, just searching Ferguson on Khabib's page.
Yeah.
And it's got a main article for 249 because it's such a complicated situation. But the bottom line is that UFC have been desperate to put on this event because it was their marquee event of the year so far, I think, certainly after Conor anyway.
Yeah.
And they've... sorry, my dogs are barking outside, annoying me. And yeah, they put everything on this. They're talking about doing events at their Apex Stadium, which is located next to their HQ. Talking about doing it overseas somewhere, basically doing it wherever they were allowed to do it, which is the old style of doing MMA, getting around the regulations rather than embracing them. And it was a shame to see, but their parent company, Endeavour, hasn't been doing so well recently, has it?
No, I believe so. And we joked about it on the last episode, didn't we? That we were saying it'd be cancelled for the 5th time because of the pandemic. I don't think we actually realised how serious things had suddenly accelerated the last couple of weeks.
And they certainly did. But the only people who seem to be ignoring that are Donald Trump and Dana White.
And it's more. He's not even bothered about the rest of the event, is he? He's just like, it's more.
No, he'd put on just that if he could.
Yeah, because the actual event was stacked. Rose was fighting for a belt back and stuff.
Yeah.
As of yet, they still haven't confirmed anything, and my gut feel is that the fight won't happen. What do you think?
Well, definitely. Khabib said he's stuck in Russia now. He can't get out of there.
Yeah.
And he thinks it would be unsafe to do so. That's what he said.
And all the old keyboard warriors kicking off with Khabib saying he's running scared, and
it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And Ferguson's saying that as well, which doesn't help.
I think there's talk of Justin Gaethje stepping into the breach, isn't there? There is.
What do you say? I'm happy to judge these people for risking all of our lives.
Yeah, I would watch it though. I know I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I don't agree with it, but I definitely would watch something. I think.
Well, let's see what's
trying to play on that. Dana's trying to play on the heartstrings of the world needs some entertainment and some sport, and it's like.
Well, that's what WWE was saying about WrestleMania.
Yeah,
they're doing it for the fans. Bull fucking shit.
Well, to a degree, I get it because they won't have brought in any revenue from WrestleMania because it was done in like someone's garage.
Well, they do for the pay-per-views, whatever else, don't they?
No, it's all on. Well, it's all on. What do you call it? The network. So you just
people pay. They might do a month's subscription just for that. I think they make money out of WrestleMania more than just the gate.
Well, on a normal WrestleMania, they absolutely would do, but this one, I don't think they're making much from it.
Well,
from the bits I've seen,
then they shouldn't have risked everything that they've risked for it. So now for a 5th time, this fight is not happening, and it seems destined never to be so. And in fact, the fight card on Wikipedia for 249 has Ferguson versus TBD,
Was it?
at the top, and it's got the rest of the card as you stated, Andrade, Namajunas,
That won't be
but it quickly goes downhill after that, I have to say.
Yeah, it won't be happening. Be interesting when events will kick in again. Donald Trump, apparently Donald Trump had a phone conference call with all the the heads of the sport leagues across America, and he's like saying it'll be sooner rather than later that all these sport leagues will be coming back to action again. And I'm like, God, he's so delusional.
Yeah.
Unless they're planning on doing so many things behind closed doors.
And then we've got Conor McGregor, who's putting out presidential type Instagram videos to the people of Ireland, telling them to stay at home, while at the same time he's giving interviews saying that Khabib has chickened out of the 249 fight.
No, because I was quite impressed with that video, because he has got a reach, hasn't he, whether you like it or not. And
he has a reach, and he knows how to speak.
Because it was all a very good message and stuff, you know. But then,
I mean, I was ignoring it. He's full of shit, you know.
Yeah, he is. But that message was quite good, but then he just loses all its impact the week after when he's calling Khabib a pussy for not doing a fight.
Yeah, and he was getting a good reception for it, and I thought, come on, people, see through this. And there you
go. Yeah, you can see through it, can't you? But it's still the crux of the message is still valid. It's just he doesn't. He then looks like a bit of a whopper afterwards when he talks shit.
Yeah, stay at home, people. Saw people in the park today, sat with their families. You know, people are risking their lives working in hospitals while these people are going around to their friends' houses and anything else.
Bad news, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So Dana and Trump are just trying to ignore a lot of it and get on with it. But I don't see this fight. I don't see Gaethje fighting Ferguson anytime soon. I don't think we'll see probably a live event until June time. What do you think?
At the earliest. Yeah, probably later than that.
Yeah.
If they do the right thing anyway.
Apparently, separate to MMA, but apparently I've been working with some people who are doing all the death mortality rates for a life insurance firm. Wow. So they're quite close to all this stuff. And on Friday, they said the peak in the UK would be in between 7 and 9 days. So about 7 days from now. And then you'll start to see it drop off. New cases drop off.
Interesting.
So you figure all that out and you add on the time that we've already been in lockdown and the time up to that. They were saying it'd be about the end of June before we'd be out. I was like, fuck.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Because it
depends, I suppose.
Probably.
It depends, I suppose, how they turn the taps on, whether they won't let us all out at the same time, or you'd imagine they'll let us out with restrictions over time. Stop another spike.
Have you been doing Tyson Fury's morning exercise routine?
I have been watching him.
Have you?
Yeah, I like him.
He was doing curls with his wife and squats with his wife on his back.
It's so funny because he looks so unathletic, and you're like,
yeah.
Heavyweight
you do that? Oh yeah, you're heavyweight champion of the world.
Even like when he's running and doing stretches, you think, Jesus Christ, he doesn't look particularly.
For a guy like him, though, bipolar and stuff, this is a time that someone like him could struggle. Good to see him doing well and keeping himself fit. Yeah,
well, my gym that I go to do Facebook live workouts and Zoom workouts. So yeah, big shout out to EDC Gym. I can't say I've partaken in any of it just yet, but I'm sure I will over time. Are you doing any exercise? Well, you got walking the dogs, don't you?
Yeah, and good walks every day. That's doing something. I'm doing bits and pieces. Everywhere's sold out of exercise equipment.
Yeah.
So I can't buy any of that. I've got 2 dumbbells and nothing else really.
My house is my happy place. I don't want to be doing exercise in it.
You don't associate the two.
Yeah, so I've got a roll mat, so I'll be doing some press ups and some stretches, and that's probably it for the time being.
Nice. Jon Jones, should talk about him.
Yeah, talking about fucking Connor and Whoppers. Here's another one.
He's been a naughty boy again.
Yeah, what is he? Was he? So he was pulled over, wasn't he, by the cops? Did he crash?
There were reports of a gunshot in the area.
Yeah.
And he got pulled over, and they felt that he was in bad shape
Mm.
in terms of intoxication. So they got him to do the walk and stuff, and they've released the body cam video of him doing the body cams, like the little camera that police have on their chest. Of
Have you
him
seen it?
doing the walk up and down, and he's struggling to do it, and it's just
Pissed up, you think?
say again.
Pissed up.
Yeah, and they searched his car. They found a gun under the chair. They found a bullet casing, suggesting that the gun had just been used, and a bottle of Recuerdo Mezcal, which is, do you know what Mezcal is?
It's like some kind of tequila, isn't it?
Yeah, it's similar to tequila. I think it's actually more popular in Mexico than tequila. It's just not traveled that well. But that's Masvidal's Mezcal.
Oh, yeah.
And he was arrested, taken to jail. He's just mad, absolutely mad.
Giant whopper, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
pleaded guilty, and everything else got dropped. He pleaded guilty to DWI, the drink driving, and everything else got dropped. Got 4 days house arrest.
Has he got a suspended sentence or something? I think he's got off quite late.
1 year of supervised probation.
For someone who's been in trouble before for crashing cars and for...
He's got away with that, hasn't he? Shooting his gun off.
Strange now.
Yeah, he crashed into a pregnant woman who was also in a car, ran off, and then allegedly ran back to get his drugs, and then ran away again, leaving her in the car. He got in trouble for allegedly groping a waitress in a strip club.
You wouldn't think in New Mexico that there'd be so many... Albuquerque would be the place that you could get away with so much stuff, and you'd think he'd be in a big city where he'd be out gallivanting all the time, but I don't know whether he needs to move from there or what. New crowd of mates, or...
Well, I think he's the mate, though, isn't he?
I suppose if he's in the car on his own with a gun, yeah. Every time he's on.
What else? There's more. He's got driving his Bentley Continental GT tacky car. Arrested for driving then.
I like that car.
There's the fight with Daniel Cormier during the
Brawl.
Well, yeah, the Brawl in the lead up to their fight. He's been done for he's failed drug tests on 4 occasions, meaning fights have gone off.
Picograms.
Yeah, and if you remember on that picogram incident where it was at a very low level, his promoters saying that it was remnants of the last time that he did it, which is great. He's not a cheat. This is from the last time he cheated. They actually moved the event from Nevada to California.
Yeah, of course. And so to top it all off,
this was days, not even less than a week before the event.
And to top it all off, if you bring it back to the sport, his performances have been on the wane over the past 2 years, haven't they?
Well, this is a guy who's partying all the time.
Yeah.
No wonder.
He admitted, didn't he, in his just lead up to his previous fight, he said that he'd have a drink the week before his fight to Hawaii.
We discussed that. Yeah, we discussed that. Some kind of tradition that he has. But my God, he is so much his own worst enemy.
Yeah. It's worrying that one day you'll hear something that's gone really wrong for him, or he's done something really wrong to someone or to himself, and he'll end up losing everything.
Yeah.
Well, he's a giant whopper. I remember when I was in UFC, whatever it was, in 2010, and we met him in the hotel lobby, and it was like 10 in the morning, midday, and he was still steaming from the night before.
Was he?
And I was like, you smell a beer.
You're an animal.
Hey.
You are. He's an animal. Sorry, not you.
That's right. I'm an animal.
You are an animal. Yeah. What else is going on in the world of everything? Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, tell me what he's done, the big whopper.
Billy Joe Saunders. I think it was on his Instagram. He put a video up of him in, looked like his garage or bar next to his house, where he's got a punch bag. And he says something along the lines of, you fellas who can be stuck home with the missus over this coronavirus lockdown, she's going to be nagging you and stuff like that. So you need to know how to put her back into place. Now, what I like to do, and he gets in his stance, what I like to do is with a big right hand, go up top and then slams the bag as if he's punching the woman in the head. And then he says, now she's going to be wondering what's happened. She can't believe that that's just happened. She's trying to calculate whether or not you really have just hit her like that. But before she realizes what's going on, you got to go low with the front hand into the ribs. I was just watching it. It's like, what the fuck? So just on Twitter, I see that he's put this up. Like, my God, this is the guy, and we are slagging people off today. But this is the guy who pulled over to find because he spotted a crack cocaine addict and started asking her all the different things she'd do for a bit of crack that he pretended that he had.
Yeah.
And it was horrible, absolutely horrible. This is the guy who's looked like he'd been signed up for the biggest fight of his career against Canelo Alvarez, arguably the most popular boxer in the world. And the peak of Billy Joe Saunders' career. And before it's going to happen, he does this. I mean, sometimes you go out and you have a couple of beers and you say something stupid to someone, or people get in fights and they make mistakes in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
He has thought this will be a good idea.
He thinks it's funny, doesn't he?
He's put his phone up and done the selfie thing on the camera and then left it there and directed his own video of how to beat up women. And then you get all these whoppers defending him, saying it's just a joke. I mean, it's not funny.
That's the perfect case of somebody else should be running his social media, shouldn't it? Because what just a fucking idiot.
Running a lot for him, yeah. What a simpleton.
Has he still got the Canelo fight?
Well, because of the coronavirus,
yeah.
It looks like, the talk has been between the two camps that the Triple G fight might be on at the end of the year.
Right. For the third time.
Because this BJ Saunders fight was going to be Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, right. Which is May, is it?
The complete trilogy on Triple G, which I'd be happier with.
Although,
Billy Joe Saunders, good fighter. I think we discussed this last time.
Yeah.
He's not the caliber that Alvarez is, but I would have liked to have seen it, and would have been maybe a bit of a test for Alvarez. Certainly a test for Billy Joe Saunders, and we're not seeing so much of one for him.
The Dillian White fight, I think we spoke about it last time, was due to be at the arena on the 2nd of May or something. That's been cancelled, so that's something that we might be able to go and see if they make the rematch in Manchester. Presumably they will.
Yeah, well, that'd be great.
I like him because he was on MasterChef.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I was getting permission, and now there's an alarm going off.
Okay.
I was getting permission from a friend of ours, and I think we should do a big FTAB congratulations to our friends Stuart and Adele, who are going to who are going to fucked it.
Well done, mate.
Who are going to have their first child in 6 months' time or something, during a very difficult time. I wish them all the best of luck, knowing that Stuart will do his best to look after it during all of that.
Drink all your beer now, Stuart, while you can.
FTAB is a good name for a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
A strange one, but congratulations, Stuart and Adele. Stuart and Adele. Yeah. And you said he never listens to this show.
I don't think he'll hear it.
No, he won't. And he just takes the piss out of us anyway.
He's not told his aunts and uncles yet, he says. So he's worried they might hear it.
Well, to be fair, our social media reach might get to them crowd in Sale and Alty quite quickly. Yeah,
exactly.
What are you going to do when the coronavirus lockdown's off?
I don't know.
Have to do something to celebrate it.
Yeah. What?
Don't know. Need to book a holiday.
I'm probably eating better food now because I'm getting
I
stuff
definitely
delivered.
am. I definitely am.
Yeah. My wife works in the NHS, and
Mm.
Uber Eats have sent her 10 quid a day.
Really?
Yeah. So I've had Mexican. We got sandwiches delivered. What else did we get last? We got burgers last night.
That's
Got Korean chicken.
Who's that from? Uber Eats, delivery, did you say?
Uber Eats. Uber Eats.
I thought you don't like Uber.
I'm over that now. It's the only option nowadays.
Double standards, you, mate.
Yeah, I didn't like Uber because they don't look after their staff and don't pay taxes. But they
If they're looking after your belly, you're okay about it.
no. But then I tried to use other taxi companies, and they're all so fucking shit.
Change your tune, you, mate.
Right. Okay.
One of our other avid listeners arranged a sweepstake yesterday for the virtual Grand National.
Who won?
Well, I don't know what horse won, but I won the sweepstake. Well done, James, for organising. Thank you.
Mm.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it. Yeah. Shit.
Gee, I thought to myself, what am I doing in my life? It's just sat in, and the only sporting entertainment you can get is a fucking sniper computer game on primetime TV.
Yeah, but there's loads of old sports to watch. We've got YouTube. It's got so much on there. And
Yeah, I'm not.
shout out to Composer actually, Grabaka Hitman on Twitter, who has been posting some great old Pride fights today. Fedor versus Crow Cop.
Yeah.
Gary Goodridge versus Fedor.
So much content out there if you wanted it. I watch YouTube for hours, mate.
I mean, of course, live sport is where it's at, but there's so much that you've just never seen.
What's your view on some of the bigger Premier League football clubs putting their admin staff and non-playing staff on furlough?
It's a tough one because it's a business. I know. I mean, Liverpool's one that's been mostly criticised.
Liverpool and Spurs are the big two so far.
Well, I've seen most criticism for Liverpool.
Yeah, they've got
I think it's because they, have a bit of an image of the people's club kind of thing. But they put all their staff on furlough, and I think they're paying 100% of their wages, but obviously paying back from the people in terms of taxes. Sorry, not in terms of taxes. We're paying taxes, so they can get
860k. It works out a month the taxpayer has to pay.
Is that right? Wow. When I hear that,
it's not good, though, is it?
No, not when we don't have enough masks for nurses.
And if Liverpool could not afford £860 a month for 3 months, say, they're not running a particularly good business model there.
It's a bad PR move, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, Newcastle have done it. I think we'd probably be disappointed if Mike Ashley hadn't done it. But in terms of Liverpool, it's bad PR move there, I think.
Yeah, it's not great.
Interesting. I think the pressure on footballers to give 30% of their salary, or take a pay cut. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, it's not about giving it to charity or anything. It's to help the clubs.
Well, that's what the stance was on Friday from the Premier League Football Association. But then the PFA, like the Players Union, have kicked off saying players would be willing to take a cut, but only if that cut then was going to NHS or going back to the taxpayer. Whereas,
again, bad PR move, poorly presented. And Wayne Rooney has done a Times article today, perhaps with some assistance on the pen, with saying that for him, no problem, got loads of money, happy to take a pay cut, help people out, no problem. Yep. But players around me, they don't earn that much. Nope. They earn a decent amount, but we all live to our means.
Of course.
Yep. I earn more than most, but if I had to take a 30% pay cut, I'd be in trouble because I've got a half decent house that I have to pay a mortgage on and everything else.
You've got to buy your Greggs and your Uber Eats and your pizza.
I wish I could buy my Greggs, Dennis. I wish I could.
Yeah, sorry.
Cold that. Unlike how I like my steak bakes. And
it's one steak bakes.
So it's just not that simple. And the government saying this, the Tory government. I mean, let's not get too much into the politics. That's not what's
You know who's brought that up?
well, but they've also put pressure on those players, on those footballers. But also, why are we talking about football? Too much about football.
I mean, it's just the impact of a global pandemic on all sports.
Yeah.
That's why. You mentioned earlier in our conversations organising this great show, you think we should talk around some underrated fighters or underrated fights from the previous few years that you'd recommend our listeners and viewers to go and watch?
Yeah, well, mild miscommunication between us and my typo. So you've looked at a fight and I've looked at a fighter. But do you want to begin?
I can do. So it's an underrated fight, and it's a well-known fight. But
MMA.
I thought I'd link.
So you've gone MMA and I've gone boxing.
Yeah. So it's a well-known fight. However, I thought I'd link it to the events of this weekend. So because the only live sport this weekend that I'm aware of is the WWE are doing their WrestleMania event behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I think it was recorded about
2 days of it.
Yeah, so I think it was recorded about 3 weeks ago, but they've kept everything under wraps. So the first one was last night and the second one's tonight, and I was watching bits of it because it is quite entertaining. It's very weird to see because it's literally in their version of the tough arena, so there's no fans, no sound of applause. And tomorrow night, I think it's headlined by Brock Lesnar. And I was thinking about the greatest fights I've seen him in, and I revert back to UFC 100 when he fought Frank Mir for the second time. So there's a bit of history that Lesnar's first ever fight in UFC was against Frank Mir. Frank Mir was a bit of a jiu-jitsu specialist. Mir came running in the first fight, hurt Mir. Mir fell on the floor, grabbed his leg, and put the vastly underexperienced Brock Lesnar in a knee bar and tapped him out. Then after that, Lesnar fought a couple more fights, actually won the championship from Randy Couture, won the heavyweight championship of the world, and then was fighting Frank Mir in UFC 100 main event. And he absolutely pulverized him. And I think it was at that point in time that everyone realized how much of a savage Brock Lesnar was, who was a former NCAA Division I champion, WWE heavyweight champion, and then managed to transition to one of the most brutal sports in the world. And just seeing that fight, I watched it again this morning, just on the back of what we said we'd do today. So I'd recommend you see that fight because he's absolutely vicious. And he does have his WWF sort of entertainment angle at the end where he takes the piss out of Frank Mir, jumps around and drinks a Bud Light. So I think you should go and watch that fight.
Nice.
What about yourself, mate?
Can you post a link on our page or something, on our Twitter page?
Yes, of course I can. Oh, I've got my Twitter up here as well. Yeah, I'll do that. What have you been thinking about?
Hold on, I'm finding a little shot for you.
Oh, yeah, was I meant to do that?
It's all right. Where is he? There.
Look at Frank Mir's face.
I know. So what round did he stop him? He did stop
him in the second round. He did.
It looks like he's on his way there. Frank Mir looks in good shape there, doesn't he?
He was. Yeah, I used to love Frank Mir was class back in the day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really good. Met him at a what's that Russian?
Oh yeah, what happened to them? They had like 50 fights in one event. Do you remember?
Yeah, but I found out since that. Oh, what's it called? ACB.
Well, ACB, wasn't it?
ACB was changed its name since something else.
Right.
But it's run by, I think it's Ramzan Kadyrov, the Chechen dictator.
Yeah.
Pals with Ali Abdelaziz and Khabib and stuff, who's not a very nice man. But Frank Mir commentates for them, and got a photo with him. He's a nice guy.
He was chunky. I didn't go over, but I think you went over, and he was like, his back was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he didn't want to take photos with people, and I jumped in. He said, "Okay," and so I quickly got my phone into selfie mode. Tried to press the volume thing to take it, and I just turned the phone off. I was like, "Fuck!" It's all embarrassing. I got it though. I got it.
Of course.
So I would like to talk about a boxer, an Argentinian boxer by the name of Carlos Monzon.
Oh, I don't know him.
Well, he was a middleweight boxer back in the day.
Yeah.
Just let me get my page up, sorry. And he was Argentinian and fought mostly against South Americans. But it was a time when South American fighting was really strong, and Americans as well. And he was a bit of a superstar in terms of his public profile. Married sorry.
All right.
Married a film star, and that's not working. Damn. Married a film star, and a bit of model looks about him, and had some really good fights. I will post some of them later. But the
what weight division was he? Sorry,
middleweight.
Middleweight.
So he lost. He won the WBA, won the WBC, had the WBC taken off him, and then was fighting Colombian Rodrigo Valdez. This is in the 70s, by the way. This is 1976, and this is right at the end of his career. And Rodrigo Valdez, his brother, was shot dead a week earlier. So he came into the fight not really feeling it, and just got battered for 15 rounds. Then they rematched 18 months later, July 77. And by the way, in that first fight, Monzon unified the WBA and WBC middleweight titles. And in fact was the lineal champion at that point. Rematch 18 months later, Valdez, in much better shape, put Monzon on his ass in I think in the 6th round, and then
his ass. Put him on his ass.
Dropped him.
Yeah.
For the first time in his career. And Monzon fought back for the rest of the fight to win it on a unanimous decision, 15 rounds. So keeping all the titles. And that was his biggest fight, his most exciting fight, and his very last fight. He retired after that.
You'll have to put it out on the Twitter universe, mate. I think.
And that was his 99th professional fight.
And he didn't have one more to reach 100.
No.
Quit.
Funny that, isn't it? A record of 87, 3-9. That's funny. So he drew more than 3 times more than he lost. Yeah. But he also had a bit of controversy in his life. Accused of beating up his various wives and girlfriends. Was shot in the leg by his wife. Beating up paparazzi, and went to prison for killing his wife.
Shit.
Yeah, he got 11-year sentence.
Sounds like this guy could have a film name.
Exactly how I was going to end this, actually. And then died in a car crash.
Fuck.
Yeah. Rolled his car and died in a car crash. It's a really good story. Well worth reading up about him. Should have a film. Pretty sure there isn't. And in fact, I've discussed it with your pal who's sat behind you right now, Steve Collins. Yeah, right there.
A gift from yourself, mate.
Yeah, it was, which is why I recognise it. My wife wants to get past. Go on, run. So I will post some of. I'll post some of his fights because they're all on YouTube.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but it was a golden era.
There might be a book about him or something worth reading.
Say again.
There might be a book about him worth reading. I'm doing a lot of reading because I'm off, so might be.
I'll try and find one, but I've not read one myself, so I'll post that. And BoxRec have him as number 2, pound for pound ever middleweight.
Fucking hell, right? Well, definitely look into that.
Anything else going on?
Are you watching any decent TV shows during this global pandemic?
I finished watching both seasons of The Sinner with my wife. It's good. Bill
Mate,
Pullman,
what?
great man. What?
Do you not think it's very trashy?
The Sinner? No?
Is it the Sinner, the one that's bits of it was in Manchester?
No, that's no. They are a bit trashy. Those.
They're very trashy.
I can't remember what that's called.
No, I can't. They're
Stranger.
based on Stranger.
No,
Yeah.
The Sinner is American Bill Pullman. And Bill Pullman.
Let me just.
Used to be a bit of a heartthrob back in the day. He's an old man with a bit of a belly now, but
Is Jessica Biel in it?
Jessica Biel is in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them both. They're a bit intense.
They're a bit intense. Good though.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. Yeah, I've seen those.
What else do I want to watch? New Better Call Saul and new Ozarks. Ozark is out. I've not watched them yet. Looking forward to them.
No, neither have I. We started Ozark last night, so that should be good.
The third season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I suspect it's still good quality because the second one was as good as the first, wasn't it?
I'm looking forward to Better Call Saul as well, but just letting them build up because they're only on week releases.
He's made a lot of crap, Jason Bateman, but he's when it comes down to it, he's a good actor.
Yeah, I think he's very good in Ozark.
Yeah.
You listen to any decent music?
No.
Pearl Jam got a new album out, mate. It's good.
Who, sorry?
Pearl Jam.
Oh, really? I don't know. They're still making music.
Bit of rock and roll, mate. Yeah, they're good.
Good album, yeah.
Hey?
It's a good album.
All right. It's
like
like
a bit more guitar, actually. I bought a new lead for one of my amps that wasn't working, so I'll get that cracking.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube clips around drums and guitars.
So Dennis has been watching drum technique videos. Now, Dennis isn't a drummer, never has been, other than in indie clubs when we were younger, and that was just with his hands. So he watches drum technique videos, but it's not a drummer. Buy some drumsticks, get some drumsticks delivered.
Yeah, well, I was very close to buying an electric drum kit just for something to do, but
I almost bought you one once.
What did you?
Yeah, for your birthday or something. I think half decent ones are very expensive.
I've been watching loads of clips from the Arctic Monkeys drummer. He's fucking wicked.
Is he?
Matt Helders, yeah, very good. Yeah.
I'll try and think of some good drummers that I can.
And some really, really
Obvious
beautiful guitars I've been watching.
Some what, sorry?
Really beautiful guitars. There's these guys who run I think I mentioned to you that music shop, Anderson's, is it?
Andertons,
and they go around and they try and replicate.
Do good demos, don't they?
Yeah, and they try and replicate famous musicians.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's good. I'll have to put some clips on.
Yeah, it's devastating going to buy it. Whenever you go and buy a guitar and the guy in the shop just is very, very good at it, I just feel like you're not worthy of the guitar then.
Make it look so easy. It's like, shit. Yeah. I've also been contemplating, because I'm not spending any money because I'm just stuck in the house, I've also been contemplating buying a UFC belt or a wrestling belt and just put it in the background.
That'll keep you occupied.
Well, the old school wrestling ones are about 300 quid, but the UFC ones are 500 quid.
Are they? It used to be 3.
Yeah, I know. But you look pretty sweet there, Russ. Over there, maybe.
Second hand. Well, second hand.
I never thought about that. Yeah, because it'd be giddy people who've done it. And
the old one as well. Or an old Pride belt.
Yeah, the old ones. Mate, 700 quid for the new one.
For the Pride one?
No, the new UFC one.
Oh, right. Wow. A
lot of money, that, isn't it?
That's stupid. Absolutely stupid.
Listeners, you'll have to follow us on Twitter and leave us any notes or anything you want to hear us talking about over the coming weeks. We'll try and be there for you.
Yeah, I'm going to be posting some videos and information about Carlos Monson, and if Dennis doesn't find it, I'll post that Frank Mir and Brock Lesnar. Sorry?
Already done.
Oh, me? Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I've got a screen here. Got a screen there. Screen there. Fucking
nice. Well, bad. Yeah, just try and keep you entertained. I'll get some retweeting of people posting different stuff, and maybe if you can think of some classic fights, then you could post them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Sorry, I was just I was a bit distracted. The little dog just ran across the road, and
I've got a couple I'll mention now. In fact,
of fights.
Yeah, I was looking up old cruiserweight fights. Johnny Nelson, Carl Thompson for the WBO fight. Johnny Nelson was the longest reigning cruiserweight. I think he still holds that title. In fact, I think.
Does he? I like Johnny Nelson.
Yeah, he's all right. Emmanuel Augustus, do you know him? The Drunken Master.
No.
Really funky, drunken fighting, like all over the place. Has a mad record, like won loads of incredible fights, but lost loads as well. Right. Floyd Mayweather said it's the toughest fighter he's ever fought. It went 12. It went the full 12. I think it was 12 back then. 12 rounds. There wasn't one clinch break in the fight. Constant moving. Yeah, other stuff like that. So I'll try and get some more.
Yeah, I've got a list of ones there that we can post about and talk about.
FTAB News on Twitter. That's where you'll find it. You'll find Dennis at Braemar Soldier, BRAEMAR Soldier. Find me at Chutney News. You can email us, ftabpod@hotmail.com.
Actively monitored email address.
It certainly is nowadays. I think that's about it, really.
Right. Well, yeah.
Stay safe, everyone, and stay home.
Stay safe. Don't leave the fucking house. The last thing to say is, for those about to brawl, we salute you.